Hello world, I'm Chris Perillo and you're watching another live Q&A with you and me. I answer a question every day, a question that you might have asked. In fact, I think someone just asked it today and I knew I was going to be addressing it in a Q&A video. Was it Sean on Twitter? He's got a Seahawks logo. I get to know everybody out there. You may think I'm just some random geek who lives on the internet, but I don't. I'm a real person, and I really appreciate connecting with you as real people as well. Whether you're a super nomie or one of my nomies, doesn't really matter. I appreciate you. Today's question is likely on your mind if you've not been paying attention to the rumor mill. It has been suggested that Apple is making certain key hires and has been doing certain things that would lead people to believe that Apple, the company that has brought you the iPhone and the iPad, or maybe not you, but potentially someone you know, they're working on a car. Allegedly working on a car. Rumor. Big rumor. Huge rumor. Underscore. Ow. Man, I keep pulling muscles today. I pulled a muscle making a YouTube video. That's my claim to fame. What would I think about an Apple car? And I think that's how I want to approach the question. Because we don't know if Apple's working on a car, but much like it was with their watch, where there's smoke, there's fire. And Apple's done certain things and have made certain decisions that would indicate that they're pushing forward with something that involves automotive. Is this a full-on car? Nobody knows. Is this just CarPlay taken to the next level? Nobody knows. Is this for residential car owners or commercial car vehicle owners? Again, nobody knows. It's all like a groundswell of rumors that are circling around the idea that Apple's certainly doing something that involves a car. Would that be surprising? No, not at all. It wouldn't shock me if Apple was working on something in relation to the car. They've got CarPlay. Cars are not going away anytime soon. I think the definition of what a car is and what a car does is going to change within the next 10 years. I'm happy about this. Some people aren't, especially if you happen to be a car geek. I think self-driving vehicles will become the norm in my lifetime. Hopefully, before I have to teach my daughter Jedi how to drive. Because that's a stress that I just don't want to deal with. Knowing that the roads are safer because of self-driving vehicles, potentially, hopefully. One could only hope that we'd be taking a step forward, not just with lowering emissions of vehicles, but also increasing safety. So I think it would be the right game for Apple to be playing in because we still have cars. Some people choose to live without cars. Cool. You want public transportation, you want to walk, you want to use bicycles, it's your prerogative. But I don't see the need for cars diminishing anytime soon. Certainly not for personal transportation options. And I should also add, I'm about ready to get a new car. We're in the market for a new car. I don't know what that's going to be. I really don't know. Some people are pushing me towards Tesla. Tesla. Dude, those things are pricey. For a car? I don't think so. See, to me, a car, I don't geek out about cars at all. Does it have a steering wheel? Yes. Does it have radio options? Bluetooth, maybe? Yes. Does it have other fancy schmancy things? Yes. In fact, I do plan on talking about my current vehicle later this week, for those who've been asking. I didn't do a review on it because I don't really do car reviews. I tried at one point, but I look at things differently. Even with technology, I mean, these are tools, and I look at a car as if it was a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool to get me from point A to point B, help me transport things back and forth. So I would like to see Apple do to the automotive industry, or any company to do to the automotive industry what Apple did to the smartphones. Because look at all the smartphones, what we determined as smartphones before they released the iPhone. Look at the state of Android as it was, more like a BlackBerry clone back before the first iPhone UI or UX, anything, the hardware complete with software was even revealed. So if any company had an understanding of what consumers would want, if any company would have an understanding of technology, if any company would have a massive amount of money to throw at a problem, if any company would have existing relationships with people, if any company was to do this, Apple is in the best position. I would like to see them do a car. Absolutely. And even if, here's the thing, even if they did release a car, it doesn't mean I'd go out and get it. Maybe I wouldn't. But the thing is, just like a disruption in any part of the industry, when someone changes the game, everybody's forced to change. So even though you've got other car manufacturers working on really trying to catch up to Tesla, imagine the competition. And when you have that much competition, you've got amazing products. So even if you don't like Apple, you should be encouraging them to moving this ball forward because it's going to make for better automotive products for every single one of us, unless you like clinging on to the past. And that's fine if you're that kind of person. But the rest of us are just looking for affordable transportation that works well, technology that works well within vehicles. And at this point, it works okay. It's nowhere near where it should be. And I do believe, looking into the future, I think Google's on the right path with self-driving vehicles. I think that's the way it's going to be. Apple is in a good position. Does this mean they're going to do it? No. Does this mean that's exactly what they're working on? No, it doesn't mean that at all. I don't put any amount of, credibility behind any one of these rumors, apart from saying, much like I said before Apple announced the watch, because of key hires that they made, those strategic, alliances and partnerships, and not just conversations that no one would be privy to, but just knowing where there's smoke, there's fire. They are doing something. They have to be doing something. There's too many things that have stacked up from a variety of credible sources. We just don't know what that is. Maybe they're reinventing the steering wheel. Maybe they're reinventing the radio. Maybe they're reinventing something that anybody could use in the car that they already have. We don't know. It would be a great thing for them to get into, but much like televisions, I don't really want to upgrade my car but every few years, because I feel that I use the car frequently enough and technology advances rapidly enough that every 3 years, I feel I'm ready for a new vehicle, generally speaking. And it's been that way for quite a long time. I do not want to own a car. I just don't. I don't even feel like I even own my smartphone. I mean, obviously I own it. I bought it, but it's I feel differently about the car like I do a television. I don't want to be upgrading every year. And so I don't know how it would fit if Apple did their own car. I'd be interested. I'd be fascinated. I think everybody would. Because it's going to move the ball forward, man. Could you imagine the disruption? If Apple did for the automotive industry what they did for smartphones and tablets, how is that anything but a gigantic win for the entire globe? They've got the resources to pull it off. Makes sense to me. I'd love to see it happen. Hope it does happen. Don't know if it will, though. I'm not here to say that it's going to happen because nobody apart from the people working on it know. So, that's all the thoughts that I have on that. Despite how many other rumors pile up until Apple announces something, that's pretty much my stance. That's not going to change. I really would be excited. I wish they'd made one. I wish they had one ready because, like I said, I'm there on the precipice. I'm going to ask everybody who's watched this video, if you have a recommendation, a valid recommendation, feel free to make it. You know, I've tried a variety of cars over time. I've never really had an alliance or an allegiance, or I haven't been faithful to any particular brand. Honest, I mean, I look at one car and I'm like, it's just like another car. I hate saying that. I really do, because I know there are dramatic differences between vehicles, but I'll often look at a car and go, oh, it's that car, and then it's not. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even close. It's got 4 tires. I'm good. What's the mileage? I'm good. I'm sorry, kilometerage. How do you say it in non-America? Because you can't say mileage. Gas efficiency? Petrol efficiency? Kilometerage. I am looking for your recommendations, and please don't say, get an Apple car, because it doesn't exist. Thank you for asking today. I did plan on answering the question, if only because I do want to, follow it very closely. I'm very, very interested in what kind of product could be pumped out by Apple or any company that would aim to disrupt the industry. Certainly would fit within my lifestyle and how I accommodate that type of technology. A lot of tech goes into cars. A lot. But at the end of the day, they're tools. I want my tools to be more awesome. Who would argue with that? I'm sure some people would. Those people, thankfully, are not in my community. I had one person who emailed me. He's not even a human being, really. He likes poking a stick at me every so often, so I don't know if he's listening to me this deeply into the video, but he said, wow, you're almost at 800 patrons. He was saying it jokingly. So, because we're at 820 and we've lost some patrons over time. It happens. Some people, just, feel like they want to move on. Maybe I don't know if I'm providing enough value to people. I thought I was hitting the mark. That's okay, because the way I look at it is I have more patrons than this person does. So I'm just saying, the glass is going to be half full for me, no matter what really mean people say, no matter what bullies try to prove, because they've proved nothing other than they're losers who don't really deserve the life they have. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. That is most people who are not tuned in. Oh, apparently Liz from Canada says they do say mileage. That's weird. Why don't you say kilometerage? I understand, because it's a mouthful. You get tongue-tied. I'm going to go ahead and move on to TLDR, the Locker Room Daily Report, streaming it live like this video every single weekday. Hope you can tune in for that at this point. However,